My name is Khalid I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm member of an organization called Salam al-Umma, or Peace in the Hood. I became Muslim as a young man. I was involved in gangs. You probably have heard of gangs in America, Bloods, Crips, these kind of things as a teenager. But the gang that I belonged to had Islamic and African symbolism. They used words that had Islamic or African symbols to it, like Kaaba or Mecca and the star and the crescent and things of this nature. So this is what intrigued me and some of my friends to study Islam. And as young men, we began to follow the teachings of Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, Malcolm X, who gave the dawah of al-Islam after making the pilgrimage to Mecca and coming back and leaving an organization known as the Nation of Islam. Since that time, as some of you probably know, this is the basis for a lot of the Islamic communities or Muslim communities in North America. But prior to that, as we began to study some of our history, we found that many of the Africans and many of those who were captured and brought here were Muslim. And they were enslaved and taken out of Islam. I'm sure you probably know the story. Millions of people who came here as Muslims but were taken out of Islam through the enslavement process in America. And so we treasure our Islam here because it has taken us over 200 years, some of us, to get back to Islam. And so it's in that spirit that we're here today to talk about the challenge. I just want to share a few things with you that as brothers and sisters who probably are in first generation and second generation here, America is very, very dangerous for culture. Why? Because there is a lot of what we call secret societies in America. Secret societies control companies. So you need to know what's going on. And the way that they do that is to control large groups of people. As you know, this is a country made up of different ethnic groups. But every ethnic group has a secret society. George Bush belongs to a group called Skull and Bones. There's somebody else belongs to a group called Bilderbergers. And these groups get together and they meet away from everyone, and then they divide strategy on how to control masses of people, not only in America, but throughout the world. So I want to warn you that these things that are coming, that your children, and many of you will hear a lot that you hear the rappers say, their words are their words, but the secret societies own the companies. So if they're rapping about something that deals with morality and ethics and culture, most likely they won't get paid to promote their music. And these kinds of cultural lifestyles come from that. The pants with the underwear, that comes out of prison. The language, these are cultural practices that destroy society and culture and destroy families. So I want to warn you about that. I've been told about Somalians in Minneapolis that belong to the Bloods. They wear red and blue and they fight each other about colors and things of this nature. In Kansas City, I don't know if you're having it here in Columbus and some other cities is going on. In Canada, we're hearing about it. And so I'm here to just share with you that anytime that the brother has my card, we are in touch with Muslims and Somalians, the Ethiopians, West Africans all over the country who are having the same kind of issues. But what we need to do is have youth summits of all of the African youth here in America. Whether you be Somalian, whether you be Kenyan, whether you be Ethiopian or West African or North African or South African, there needs to be summits so you can organize yourselves, especially now because of this election with Barack Obama. He needs to hear from people like you. He needs to hear from the African youth and the Muslim youth in America in big numbers so he can have policy advice from people like yourself. I don't know how you say policy in Somalia, but it means like wise management, meaning that you get together and have shura or consultation and come up with your own ideas and then move your policy forward. There are 2.3 million people in prison in America, and they all are slaves. They get paid 25 cents an hour. I don't know if you know what I mean by that. That's slave. And they're trying to build more prisons. And they're also trying to make the African Muslims and other Africans that come here, they want them to go to prison so they can work for 25 cents an hour. So you want to stay away from illegal activities, stay away from gangs, stay away from drugs, and stay away from things that destroy the culture and the morals that my brother talked about earlier. So again, I want to thank you. I have 4 children. They're daughters. My oldest daughter graduated from law school. She's an attorney. I have another one who works on Wall Street. I have 2 in college. And our whole position as Muslims in America of African descent is to connect and network with other Africans in diaspora and other Muslims in the diaspora in order to empower ourselves. Because this is where our future is. You are the future. You are the future. And so you have to stay strong and stay focused and be aware of these societies. If you don't know anything about this, you have to begin to study these things, because this is where the power in America is, in secret society. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.